So there are 7 seeds. Seeds. Hi and welcome to the Ruby Tuesday. My name is Ruben and this is
Ethan.
And today we are reviewing another anime, which is a Netflix original. It has 12 episodes and we're going to try and do a kind of spoiler-free, although we will touch on some points and then let you know about whether we liked it, whether we didn't like it. But let's jump straight into the review. So 7SEEDS is about a bunch of people, I'd like to say young people, the majority of the protagonists, which there are a lot of eventually, are young, but that does range in age. Basically, the story is set in the future where an asteroid has once again, I know it's a tried and tested thing where Earth gets destroyed and we have some post-apocalyptic future. But this actually does touch on many stories that we've had already, but the storyline within the characters I thought was really good. A bunch of people wake up from these pods or like hibernation.
Cryogenic freezing.
Cryogenic freezing, thank you. They wake up from their cryogenic freezing in a place they don't recognize. Some of them know what's going on, some of them don't know what's going on. There's an amalgamation of many characters on this journey of basically how we're going to restart civilization. And along the way, it touches on points like what is moral rights now, where we have to restart civilization almost from the ground up, really. And learn how to do agriculture and learn how to build things. And so it does seem like all of the characters that are chosen have almost some sort of skill, yeah, some of them. And there are some characters at the beginning that I didn't like, but the characters go on this great I guess character arc journeys, and by the end, especially that last episode, episode 12, I feel like, yeah, some of the characters were better. What did you think about this anime? What were some of your favorite parts?
Well, I liked that it was very ethical, because at the end of civilization, when there's only a few hundred people remaining in the whole world at most, how far are you willing to go to save humanity? Will you kill one person to save 100, or will you sacrifice everyone just to save that one?
Yeah, so the moral implications is a big theme, probably the main theme, about how you do life again. And because there's so few of us, it's really important that we don't ruin what we have left. Earth now is a very toxic environment, not like in the atmosphere, but the animals have grown large. I'm not going to spoil anything, but there are various amounts of creatures that are out to once again claim who is the top dog. And we have to learn how to survive that. We, the characters, because that's obviously us. But the protagonists have to learn how to survive this new harsh world. But in amongst that, you're getting backstory from how they got there. And there are particular groups whose backstory I thought was more interesting, or probably developed the story more, or gave more weight to the story. So for the first the first 5 episodes, I thought the story was quite light and fluffy, and they were trying to, I guess, establish this new world. But from episode 6, we both realized that this anime was going to be one of those that is actually quite dark.
If you had to divide the anime up into thirds, the first third is not spectacular and it's quite fluffy, as you said. But then as you progress, it just gets darker and darker, and the fluffiness at the start just makes it all the more impactful.
Yep, it does carry a 15 certificate. It also is part A or part 1, meaning that we think from what we've deduced, Holmes style or Sherlock style, is that there probably will be 4 because of the seasons they talk about. Their groups are named by certain seasons. I won't go into more than that, but there could be spring, summer, autumn, winter. There's definitely going to be a part B because the way it leaves the end on episode 12 is a major cliffhanger. Like I haven't experienced a big cliffhanger next to my book, as I said earlier. My novel leaves on a massive cliffhanger, and this was like, really frustrating. This is a Netflix original, and sometimes these series are given their due with voice casting and animation style. We both agree that we thought the animation was okay. It was just kind of meh. It wasn't the thing that stood out for us in this animation. I think the story eventually, as it gets going, as it gets darker, it does draw you into the characters. I was emotionally engaged. Were you emotionally engaged towards the end?
Yeah, it did hit me on some points, and if the animation was something we didn't notice, then I'd say that it's good, because you're not meant to notice it unless it's outstanding.
You got a very good point there. Yeah, I like that. I didn't notice the score, so maybe everything is edited and worked well. I did kind of notice the dubbing. We watched it in the dub because I thought it was quite good. I originally watched the first few minutes in the original language, and I thought that was okay, but I did notice even the weird mouth movements. I don't know what was happening. Maybe it was my TV was a bit out of time, so I switched over to the English, and the dubbing I think was okay.
I've seen better dubbing, but yeah, it
But
was okay.
after a few episodes we were into it, so I think you kind of forget that it is dubbed and you get into the characters. This was actually much better than I was expecting it to be. When we watched those first few episodes, I thought, this isn't very good, and I didn't know if we were going to stay the course. But like Ethan said, there is a moment where suddenly it's good. It's also not afraid to tackle some really dark themes.
Yeah.
There was one particular awkward scene, which I'm glad it cut and it stopped what was about to happen. And I'm glad they didn't show anything more. As I said, it does carry a 15 certificate, but because it's the future, because we have to now kind of make all moral new implications, so many things are now up for grab: murder, sexual assault, lying, stealing, all of that. We kind of have to have a new society and new rules, and it's up to these new groups to kind of bring what justice is. So it does really start those social implications of what society really is, and whose truth is the truth and whose right is the right. And so it brings up all those kind of questions you would have in a new society. There are a lot of series that are doing that kind of thing at the moment, but to see it in an animation which is kind of Hunger Games style in parts, which is it harks back to those old people get dropped in an island and now survive. I thought it was quite good. What would you give this?
Well, overall, I'd say B+, just shy of A, but if, like I said earlier, you had to divide it into thirds, then it'd go in B-, B+, A-. So, overall, it was very good.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go with the B+. I think eventually the story was really good and the characters started being developed. At the beginning, I didn't think it was that good, and the characters were really just like, they're quite bland. But once you got to that backstory, once you felt the weight of the story, I think it deserves its B+, almost an A. So thanks for watching this review. Let us know in the comments below what you thought about this anime. Have you seen it? Are you looking forward to more? What other animes are you watching, whether it's on Crunchyroll or on Netflix? Let us know if we need to check some other ones out. We love anime, so give us some great titles to watch in the comments below. But most of all, until next time, remember, live long and Tuesday.